Identity theft. It's on the rise. Your driver's license, your social security number. Identity theft is even affecting your health. What should you be protecting? Two experts will be explaining this to Gina Spencer. Jamaicans in New York are gearing up to celebrate their 50 years of independence, and you'll be hearing about this from Paulette Willoughby, chairperson of the Jamaica Independence Foundation. And summer won't be summer without fruit, vegetables, or the fresh foods you get at farmers markets across the country. We'll be hearing about what's going on at the Crown Heights Farmers Market from 10-year-old Tassa Witter, Errol Rose, and Nancy Katz from Seeds in the Middle. But we begin with identity theft and Gina Spencer.
Today, I'll be speaking with Kimberly Downer and Robert Brown about the prevalent issue of identity theft. Welcome, Kimberly and Robert.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for coming. So tell us, it seems like even though the internet has been, let's say, a blessing to us, other people have used it for their satisfaction, and what might that be?
Well, identity theft is, I believe as technology has advanced, it has given thieves an opportunity to use that same technology to advance themselves financially, mentally, socially, and it's a shame, but it's happening not only in America but all over the world today.
And why do you think, okay, we have the internet. What has it done to, to let there be a spike in identity theft?
Well, one of the things about the internet is it's a big blessing, but at the same time, it's known as the information highway, which means it's full of information, just like most highways are, especially in New York City. And it's just floating out there. They've been collecting information on us since the day we were born. And even though we can do whatever we can to kind of safeguard ourselves from identity theft, the cat is out the bag, our information is out there, and that's why these thieves are working so hard to collect this information on us, and that's why it's so easy for them to get, because all they have to do is connect to the internet and pretty much get our information.
Okay, can you tell us the type of forms of identity theft there is that's out there?
Well, there are multiple forms, but too many to really name, but I can stick with about 5 or 6 of them. There's one on the rise right now known as child identity theft. This is when a thief take our children's personal information for their own gain, and they're doing this before the child is even born. They have software right now that can predict social security numbers, and as soon as our child is born, they have a credit record, they have a criminal file, they probably already 10, 20, maybe $100,000 in debt. Another one is driver's license identity theft, and that's when thieves take your personal information and begin to drive or do anything in our name. We realize that our driver's license is the key to everything. You can't go out and party without a driver's license. You can't get a job without a driver's license. And that's one of the most valuable material that a thief can get their hand on. Social security identity theft. This is when thieves can take your social security number. They can get social security in your name. They can actually get your checks and have them rerouted to a different address and leave you stuck with the bill. I can go on and on and on.
Medical identity
theft. Oh, yes. Medical, you want to talk about medical identity theft?
Yeah, why don't you do that, Kimberly?
Well, medical identity theft is when a person obtains your name and your information, and they get medical treatment done in your name. And the danger with that is their information is put in your file. So, God forbid, they have a different blood type than you. When you go to get medical procedures, their information is now your information, and the blood types can be incompatible, and something like that can kill you. God forbid they have a disease, if they are a drug addict or they're HIV positive. When companies or potential employers go to look at your files, they'll see this, that'll pop up, and now you can be denied jobs, or you can be denied employment because of a stigma that is not necessarily you, but it was somebody who has stolen your identity and put it on your file. So that's something that's really horrible.
And we found cases where people were denied jobs because they were HIV positive. They were denied jobs because they were alcoholics.
And didn't even know it.
So they lost a job. Well, the most important thing about it is life-threatening. It has been used to alter people's file. There was a young lady in Virginia. Her mom went into the emergency room. They was getting ready to give her insulin, and they stopped the doctor and said, "My mom is not a diabetic," but according to the record, she was a diabetic. If they would have gave her the insulin, that would have been it for her.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, now I've been hearing about synthetic identity theft. What is that exactly?
Synthetic identity theft is when they take all the forms of identity theft and create one whole identity. They'll take maybe your driver's license, her social security number, my medical file, or my birth certificate, and create a whole new identity. And as soon as you think you can unravel one, it comes back together. It's almost like a creepy sci-fi movie. As soon as you cut the head off, another head grows. That's what synthetic identity theft is like.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Now, what is it? I believe that we were talking earlier, and you mentioned that, with children, again, identity theft of children, that maybe it's a good idea for parents to check their child's
Credit files.
Credit files. I mean, you're thinking, well, I just had this child last year or 2 years ago. Why should I, do a background check on my child? Because there is identity theft. And why don't you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay.
Well, identity theft in children, your social security number is...
They're given at a younger age now.
Yeah, they're giving it at birth.
Wow.
My children have it, as soon as they're born, they get their birth certificate and they get their social security number at birth. Your social security number is a code. The numbers stand for certain things, and any code can be cracked. And basically that's what these thieves are doing. They're cracking these codes. They're coming up with a number, and they're utilizing it. And lo and behold, a couple of years later, somebody is born, and that number is assigned to that child. Unbeknownst to the Social Security Administration or the parent, that number has been used, and debt can have been racked up in that person's number, or things could have been bought in that person's number.
Right.
And the child doesn't know this, and so now they're already coming in with an issue.
Okay. Now, I mean, that's like for people on the outside, they're concerned about their child. But I also know, unfortunately, there are parents who, decide that they'd like to open up an account in their child's name.
Yes. Unfortunately, a parent can have cable or a phone, and they are not responsible with their bill. And then that utility gets cut off. Then they go, well, I'll just put it in my child's name. And so they'll turn on the phone in their child's name, and lo and behold, they won't pay the bill again, and then the utility bill gets cut off. And now that child has a negative report, a negative mark on their credit report because their parent hasn't done what they were supposed to do. So now they're under the gun trying to when they grow older, they're trying to reestablish their credit that shouldn't have been damaged in the first place if it wasn't for that family member, doing that to them.
Okay, one other thing. I understand now 1 out of 3 people are victims of identity theft.
Yes.
There are 250 million
pieces of information are lost and stolen every year.
Wow.
Every year.
Okay, and then there are 400,000
dead people open up bank accounts every year according to AARP.
That's kind of scary.
Just don't be at the big one that happens next year.
Okay, quickly, you're with Legal Shield.
Yes, I am.
And if you, an individual or a company, wants to be in contact with your organization, what's the phone number?
Okay, the phone number for Legal Shield, if they
Let me just
want,
get you your card.
I appreciate that. Thank you. They can contact our toll-free number is 877-275 7938.
Okay.
The website that they can go to find out more information about it is greatlegalbenefit.com.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. And Mr. Brown, you're an instructor.
Yes, the name of our organization is the IDTC team, and we're with the ID Theft Center. You can reach us at 347-688-IDTC, and we do free workshops. We go into organizations to offer the free workshops. We also give out free kits and free consultation. And other things, we're trying to get into the business community and educate them on these new laws. Come to find out 90 to 98% don't even know that these laws are in the books, and they'll find themselves violating the law without even knowing it. So we're on, I like to say, a campaign to make sure that they get this information.
Okay, well, we're going to have you back. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
But again, thank you so much for coming. Again, we can utilize these services of Legal Shield or the ID Theft Center, where you can call as an individual, or if you're an owner of a company or a corporation, by all means, you can call both of these companies, and they will help you stop identity theft. Thank you. I'm Gina Spencer. Now back to you, Sam.